What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, hope everyone is doing great. Hope you guys are looking forward to a fantastic weekend. And I hope you guys are ready because whether you're ready or not, week 4 of the NFL season have its Sunday action kicking off, which means week 4 of the fantasy season is here. And boy, oh boy, everyone's hurt. So you know what we need to do. Fantasy Q&A, get in the live stream, anything that you guys need, start sits, waiver additions, trades, roster reviews, whatever it is that you guys need. We're going to have some fun. And we're going to talk some fantasy football. We got Pete with us. What's up?
Not much. Everybody is dead. Nobody panic. If you have any good fantasy football player, they're hurt. Unless Justin Jefferson and Jair Alexander ducking him this weekend, maybe Sam Darnold is going to have a good game. We talked about it. I was worried earlier in the week. Might be a good game for them. But yeah, Dante. I mean, the list is just like 50 guys long. Yeah, this is why we hate fantasy.
This is part of the fun. So let's just hop right into it, I guess. In terms of the I just felt like all day, all my alerts were like, this player's out. This player's out. So Alvin Kamara is questionable, dealing with a rib and hip injury. Chris Olave is questionable with a hamstring injury. So that is bad news for the Saints. A divisional matchup against the Falcons. Tank Dell is out versus Jacksonville. Joe Mixon is questionable. Honestly, I thought Joe Mixon was out, but he's questionable. Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown are both questionable. I think Devonta Smith is out. I'm sorry. A.J. Brown is questionable.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. Sorry, I read that wrong. Jalen Warren is out. Looks like Najee's good to go. The Raiders are going to be without Devontae Adams and Max Crosby and Michael Mayer. So
good luck.
Yeah. The Raiders are in a bad spot here. Best offensive, best defensive player, both out. Jordan Addison will play. He's off the injury report. He's good to go. That'll be interesting to see because Jalen Naylor's been a great fill-in. I think all 3 wide receivers here can be relevant. Trey McBride out, concussion. David Njoku out. Evan Ingram out. League Neighbor suffered concussion last night. Deontay Johnson has a groin injury. Austin Eckler's out. I think that's everything. So not good. We got more players. I mean, he still got like Kittle's questionable, Debo's.
I think Kittle's playing. Kittle's playing.
Kittle's playing. Okay, that's right. You're right. That was a call. So yeah, it's not good.
It's bad. It's not. It's worse than not good. It's bad. There's nobody out there on the waiver wire that you can reasonably trust. I mean, there's no trust out there. I mean, we are rolling the dice at this point in the season.
So, of course, tomorrow's video, Saturday's video, last minute waiver wire pickups. I got you guys covered. Don't worry. I got you covered. But there are a few players on there, like always, you might need to be a little bit desperate. But I do think there are some surprisingly good players out there. So let us know how the injuries are impacting you. Let us know what you guys need. And let's talk some fantasy football, ladies and gentlemen. Chase, what's up, man? Hello. Ghost Hunter. Fred, who should I trade Rachaad White for? I think kind of the issue here is when you're selling him low, like what can you really get for White? Has dealt with a groin injury this year. Bucky Irving on the rise. Rachaad White hasn't had double digits since week 1. I'll say this much. Bucky Irving has been injured. Like, I feel like no one's really talked about this, but he's been dealing with a hamstring injury. He might not play Sunday. And I do think that there is a realistic, scenario where Rashad White has a good game week 4 and you're able to sell him at a higher rate. So I don't think it's a good time to sell Rashad White. Main reason being I just don't know what you can get. I feel like people are so low on Rashad White right now, which I get, and that's my guy.
Yeah, we know he's your guy.
Yeah.
The panic button is almost. I mean, I think the panic was getting a little high on Sunday. It's just they're just so inefficient at running the ball, Tampa Bay. It's really puzzling. It's puzzling almost, and not a good matchup this week whatsoever.
It's not. But I would just wait, because the Eagles. Let's see, they're gonna come in. Yeah, they're top 12 against the position, but I would just see if Bucky Irving doesn't play, maybe see if White has a better day, and then try and sell him. Because right now, I just don't know if you're going to get anything in return. I think he's just better to hold. All right, Michael. Ayuk, J.J. Wilson, Adunze. Start 3. You're starting J.J. Should really just be start 2 here. Because we know we're going to start J.J. This is interesting, though. Because we got Ayuk, probably no Debo, right? He gets the Patriots. Kind of like...
Yeah, is he going to pick up Gonzalez? They had 10 days off. That's kind of... I don't know what to think about New England.
Yeah, I mean, they're 21st against the position. They haven't been great, but it still feels kind of like... Nah. I would... Okay, let me ask you... Guys, how do you feel about this? Are we off Garrett Wilson this week? Because he gets the Pat Surtain treatment, and I think this is something we have to really start paying attention to fantasy-wise. I'm going to make that the poll for the night. Because if you want to sit Garrett Wilson, then I think it's okay to do so here. Because Rome Odunze has got a great matchup. Gets the Rams. Ayuk, good enough. JJ just got to start. So I think it comes down to, do you trust Ayuk to actually do something this week? Or do you trust Garrett Wilson against the Broncos and Pat Surtain? I think those are the two that are the most sittable. And Odunze is like, I guess I trust him. You know, he had a big game last week and gets a great matchup. So Stroud, Brock, and Geno. I'd probably just roll with Stroud and Brock. Stroud should bounce back this week big time, even without Tank Dell. I mean, it's the Jaguars. We want to start everyone against the Jags. I think Purdy probably has a lower ceiling than last week, but I'd probably start him over Geno. Lions probably okay, but
I don't know. The Lions secondary has actually not been awful. They've been kind of okay. They were just
giving up a lot of points to wide receivers, but they have been better. Someone got really mad at me in the comments for saying that they were a bad secondary. So you are right, Pete. They are playing better.
It was probably cats. It was
not cats.
It was cats on a burner account.
It may have been. David, should I start Andrews or Komet? I'm starting Komet right now. I'm not starting Andrews. When does Mark Andrews become droppable?
Soon. I want to see what the volume looks like with like if we see another week of like likely gets all the looks and Mark Andrews just is like there as a blocking decoy guy. I try and bait a trade. Like somebody will trade for Mark Andrews. I mean, for a bench running back.
Mark Andrews in his first start last year had 8 targets. He has less than 8 targets through 3 games to start the year this year. Now, Komet kind of just popped back onto the scene like he likes to do, and there is a realistic chance he just disappears like he likes to do. But he's a tight end 4. That's how bad things are. So I go with Komet against the Rams. It's more due to matchup here. I mean, the Rams are just that bad. So If Walker plays, Walker or Ramondre? You know, I would probably still go Walker, but it's an awful matchup. I mean, the Lions fewest fantasy points to running backs, but I probably still go Walker. He's probably one of the few running backs I would still start against the Lions. But I will say the Niners are a great matchup. This is a bottom 10 unit against the run. But I am having trust issues with Ramondre Stevenson, to say the least. Do you guys trust Ramondre to bounce back after last week? That's the question. Do I? I probably do. Probably do. But I would probably personally roll with Walker if he plays. Michael, we love you, bro. Thanks for being here. Looking good. Drafting rookies. Got Neighbors, MH, and Jaden Daniels. They're all balling. Good work. Shorty, I'm trying to trade Hawkinson and Spears for Kelsey. I mean, honestly, you could probably get that done. I mean, I do still kind of think Kelsey's a decent buy low. Just because, like, the position right now sucks. So maybe like second half of the season gets going. I mean, Isaiah Likely is still the tight end 2 on the season. That's, you know, that's how rough it is.
Because I mean, Hawkinson could be back. I mean, Kelsey is still fat, guys. Kelsey's got to lose another 15 pounds to get into shape, and that's not coming until like week 13, I don't think, when the Chiefs start carrying.
I will say it's a fair point. I mean, this Vikings passing offense has been great, and once Hawk is back, which a strong chance he's back like week 7.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think they're by week 6.
Yeah, by week 6. So week 7. Yeah, week 7 against Detroit, and then they have a short week against LA. So maybe they hold him out for Detroit, and he plays on that Thursday against the Rams. Not a very good defense.
Right. So, yeah, if you just want to hold Hawkinson, that's fine. You're still good, kind of handcuff back. Evan Ingram out again. Should I try and film for another tight end or hold? I would hold. You're just not going to get anything in return. You get if Britton Strange is out there, he's like 20% rostered. Pick up Strange and start him. You know, perfect villain. Same team, and Britton Strange is the tight end 11 right.
Yeah, he's looked good.
Yeah, he has. He didn't have a single catch week 1. He's a tight end 11. It's a bad position. Tyler Conklin is another good pickup I like this week because I think, you know, Aaron Rodgers is going to have to throw to different pass catchers this weekend against the Broncos. He's coming off of a double-digit performance. Zach Ertz is still solid. Those would be the guys I'd try to target. Taysom Hill is healthy again. I don't trust Taysom Hill. He can get picked up in a lot of leagues. I'm not starting Taysom Hill as a stream, but Ertz, Gesicki, Conklin, Strange, probably my favorite. Picked up Myers in my half PPR league. Think I should start him over Hill, Evans, Godwin, or Jones? No. He is in tomorrow's video. I do like him. I don't want to start him over players like this, though. I think he's a good flex. Solid start. I'm not going to go overboard, though. Everyone else here should be started over Jacoby Myers. Mike, I have Joe Dirt on bye week next week. Who's Joe Dirt? Should I pick up Ingram? Who's Joe Dirt?
I have no idea. Who's got them all? Like Kittle or the Niners on a bye or something?
I'm trying to think. There's a few teams on.
Who's on a bye next week with a?
It's probably just a typo, but
I like Detroit, Philly, the Chargers, Tennessee.
maybe
Oh
it's
God,
Goddard.
could be
I'm gonna
Goddard.
guess Goddard because dirt and ert.
Dirt. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm good at picking up any of these guys right here. It's Goddard. I see at the bottom of the chat.
There you go.
I'm just happy I guessed that right.
That was good. I'm
That was good.
impressed. I'm flat out impressed.
Highlight of all my streams. Well, I don't know if Ingram's going to play next week, but if Ingram's available, I would probably scoop him up and then wait. And if he's not, I still think you can get a guy like Conklin or Ertz to stream next week later on. So I pick up Ingram for now and see what happens. But like we just talked about, Conklin and Ertz are good options, Mike. Ghost Hunter might take less time to name the healthy players. I know, dude. It's rough. Tyreek or Godwin? You know, if you want to go Godwin here, that's fine. But it's just hard. It's not a great matchup for Hill. We don't have any. Who's playing quarterback?
Is it? I'm assuming it's Skylar Thompson, maybe Tyler Huntley. Who knows?
Yeah, we've got Thompson questionable. Boyle with his rib injury, then Huntley a possibility to start. So we have no. I mean, I'd probably just start Godwin right now. I mean, Godwin against the Eagles. Yeah, just give me Godwin against the Eagles. And I do like the Dolphins. Their defense has been fine. I'll go Vikings though. I just roll with the Vikings until they fall off. You know?
I don't know who's playing quarterback. Matt LaFleur is doing a hell of a job running interference over here.
But like for me, I don't think it really matters. Like, is that good of a defense? Their floor is just super safe. So I just play the safe play in the Vikings, and if you want some upside, you could go with the Dolphins here. I think that's fine too. But my viewpoint on the Vikings defense right now is just roll them out there. Tommy, what's up, bro? All right, we got Braylon Allen over Mooney. If Kamara or Olave misses, would you go Hill over Ertz? I would start Mooney in the flex personally. Safer floor. And I just go Ertz. I don't care who's injured. I'm not playing Taysom Hill. I'm just not doing it. Smokey, what's up, bro? Need to drop one. Braylon Allen, Bucky Irving, Chase Brown, Garando, Algier, or Coleman. I'd probably drop Isaac Garando. That's probably who I drop. Algier and Chase Brown, too valuable to your roster. You got a lot of handcuffs. Yeah, I'd move on from Garando. Good to see you, Smokey. Face 10 foil, what's up? Good to see you. Tommy says to smash the like. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Do it. Andrea, good to see you. Akers or Shaheed, PPR flex. Call me. I'm going Akers. I love Akers. Well, okay. Mixon's got to be out first.
Yeah.
And
Pierce is out. Mixon hasn't practiced, but they didn't rule him out today, which concerns me a little about the Akers start.
I filmed the last minute waiver video like Joe Mixon was out because I really thought he was out, but yeah, he just hasn't practiced and is listed as questionable. If Mixon doesn't play, I really like Akers. Shaheed, I don't know if I want to trust him. And it kind of depends. Like we don't even know if Olave's playing or not. So You got to kind of monitor this one, Tommy. I prefer Akers. Safer play. But it's got to be, if Bixon plays, then we don't want to start Akers. Bills or Packers?
Oh,
Probably the Bills, right?
I don't know. The Bills haven't been good against the run, and we know the Ravens are going to run the football. Um, I don't know, maybe the Packers for like
Probably the
turnover
Packers.
upside because they
Probably
turned
the
it. I mean, at home, Bills on the road. Yeah, I would go with the Packers here just for the turnover upside. But
I
it could
forgot
get
that
bad. Like, just it could get bad for the Packers
yeah. I forgot the Bills are playing the Ravens, to be
in
honest.
Baltimore. In
Yeah.
Baltimore on Sunday night.
Yeah, it could be bad for either team here, but most turnovers in the league, defense 2 in fantasy, go with the Packers. Packers and Vikings, top 2 defenses in fantasy.
A
Someone's
little
going to
bit
win.
different competition, but
Yeah.
I mean, who's judging over here? A little different.
We'll see. All right. Tinfoil's got JSN, Najee, Olave, Waddle, Ridley, J-Bo. Pick 2 to start. Also pick 2 if Olave doesn't play.
Okay.
So, I'd probably go Olave and JSN would be my starts.
Oh.
I like JSN a lot this week.
I'm big on Najee this week. I think they're gonna pound the rock.
So I like Najee a lot too. Najee's who I would replace if Olave doesn't play.
The only concern on Najee is like Arthur Smith's love infatuation with Cordell Patterson, who is the 2 running back this week, and he gets the touchdowns because get a guy who loves you as much as Arthur Smith loves Cordell Patterson. That's all I'll say on that. So that's the only risk right there, I think.
It is like I'm not out on JMO. You know, I've been very high on JMO basically every week, and then he came back to earth last week. So, you know, the Seahawks secondary's been playing good, but Monday Night Football is kind of like I feel like one of the Monday Night Football games gonna suck, and one's gonna be really good, like last week. You know. And I would say the Hawks and Lions have a better chance to be the good game.
So naturally, that means the Titans and the Dolphins will just be the craziest game we've ever seen.
Yeah,
the opposite of whatever everyone thinks. It'll be the exact opposite.
I mean, that's usually how it goes, right? But yeah, I really JSN like matches up against this Lions secondary perfectly. It's just one of those things. I just feel like he's gonna have a good week. But yeah, if you prefer Najee here, that's fine. But Olave, I think due to volume, you got to try and start. So you're going to go Olave, Najee, Olave, JSN. Good. You got to sit Olave, then JSN and Najee, or who I prefer. Need 1, Michael Wilson, Juwan Jennings, Drake London, Romeo Dobbs, half PPR, says Andrea. And half PPR, you got to go for the best touchdown upside. But I find it kind of hard to bench Drake London here.
Yeah. Especially if like Malik Willis plays, like Burn Dobbs can't play a Packers wide receiver.
Yeah,
if Malik Willis is starting, and then Juwan Jennings maybe again. Can we possibly see it 2 weeks in a row?
We're not going to see what happened.
Could we see another touchdown though? Another 2?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I still like Jennings. I like Michael Wilson a lot. He's top player on tomorrow's video. Great matchup for him. I think he's probably going to score a touchdown. The Commanders, like to wide receiver 2s, have given up a touchdown every game this year. It's not just the wide receiver 1. You know.
Well, they're bad at covering the wide receiver 1. They're really bad at covering everybody else.
Yeah. So I really like Michael Wilson, but I find it tough to bench Drake London. And yes, Jennings is still good, but I have a bad feeling Jennings is going to have like 4 targets, 3 catches, and like 30
It's Brandon Ayuk and Kittle this week or something like that.
I just worry about it. All right, TD flip. We got a 10-man PPR, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Someone wants to trade me Bijan and DJ Moore for CD and Higgins. Current team is Kyler, Gibbs, Najee, CD, Olave, McBride, Deontay Higgins, Cup, Hopkins, Braylon, and Bucky. So if you do the trade, you would have Kyler, Gibbs, Bijan, DJ Moore, Olave, McBride, Deontay. Then who you pulling up? Hopkins?
I mean, when Cup gets back, you're good there, I guess.
I don't think I do the trade. It's close.
Yeah, especially like CD looked like it looked like CD might be getting, back into. But again, it was only the one play. It was the one awful play by the safety that kind of made his night. He did get involved in the run game, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Bijan is like.
Bijan versus CD is fair. Moore versus Higgins is still fair. But I feel like the loss of CD is the most impactful thing here. But you're right. I mean,
yeah, but like Gibbs and Najee is definitely getting you by, I think, at running back.
It absolutely is. I mean, well, Gibbs is getting you through. Najee's like Gibbs is fine. Najee is the one, quote unquote, getting you through, right? I mean, his ceiling's still low. I think we just like Najee this week, but overall his ceiling's been really low.
They can't move the ball. Pittsburgh runs the ball. If Justin Fields starts throwing, it's gonna open up more for Najee.
Yeah.
I don't love like a DJ Moore Olave combo as your wide receivers.
Right. Like I think that's my thing is you have the solid RB1 now, the solid wide receiver one now. If you do this, then you're good at running back, but then you've got good enough names at wide receiver, but you're missing that guy. And we don't really know when. I mean, Kupp should be on IR. He just can't be. They have too many players on IR, so I worry about Kupp. If Kupp was healthy, I think he could definitely do this trade right now, but I would avoid it, is how I look at it. It is close. It's very close. It's probably a fair trade, but I'll keep the balance here. Never had it so good. Today I lost Adams on top of Smith. Yeah. Need a wide receiver. Mooney, Addison, Dobbs. I'd probably go Mooney, but I like Addison a lot. Dobbs is going to be available in a lot of leagues, and I'm okay with Dobbs, but only if Jordan Love is the guy. But Dobbs is going to become relevant again once Jordan Love is playing. He loves Romeo Dobbs, straight up. But yeah, I'm expecting Mooney to come to earth potentially this game against the Saints, but he's just a safe floor. Honestly, I'll get risky. I go Addison. I've been talking about Addison the past 2 weeks as guy to pick up, a guy to trade for. The passing attack's been great. He's going to be utilized,
especially if Jair's out. Ducking Jefferson again. He's going to get a tasty matchup.
I like the game script overall more for Addison, because the Packers.
We could get very conservative, though. We're on the road in Lambeau. Weird stuff happens. I could see them just running the ball. Play amazing defense against Malik Willis, who won't be able to throw a pass, and just not screw it up on offense. Score 20 points.
Packers are 19th against the position, so I feel like a lot of that stems from week 1.
The Eagles, yeah. The Eagles feasted.
I think I go... If Mooney wasn't playing the Saints, I think I go Addison because I still feel like overall I like Addison the best on the year. Someone offered a trade including McBride and Dobbins for Laporta and Bijan. Not a fair trade, no.
No.
Pete's triggered. Don't do it.
I'm so triggered, and I'm the biggest J.K. Dobbins stan over here. And I also love Trey McBride, but stop. I'm yell at that person. Send them a mean text.
Yeah, I mean,
think I'm stupid.
McBride is definitely playing better than Laporta, but Laporta McBride is still a wash. Dobbins bad matchup this week. Probably gonna have a backup quarterback play.
They're
Herbert's
missing
questionable.
both their tackles aren't playing. Like
Yeah, that's the other big thing.
The
is,
Chargers are just like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be awful for Dobbins this week. Do not play Dobbins this week.
Yeah, and then Dobbins has a bye week 5. So like you're gonna see Dobbins in certain formats get dropped this week. Because he's not valuable again until at least week 6 against Denver. They really need this early bye. The Chargers really do. But yeah, Dobbins v. Bijan, not even. No, don't do this trade. Don't do this trade, Carson. If you could throw Hopkins in that trade,
It's better.
It's definitely better. But then once again, I think you really got to look at your receivers. You're just kind of playing with fire because then you're going to have Olave, Deontay Higgins, and Cup down the stretch, I think I keep CD.
Like, you're crushed if Andy Dalton gets hurt and they got to go back to Bryce Young or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like you're crushed there. And, like, if Cooper Kupp is actually out for 8 weeks and not 4.
Which could be true.
Yeah, which definitely could be true. So that would just crush your team. And you're really relying on 2 running backs to carry you. And it's not where I want to be necessarily.
I keep the balance still. It is better if you get rid of D-Hop for sure. All right. Fizzy Ill, the bottom of the chat. Thank you for the super chat. Who wins the trade? Mixon, Olave, Kyler, Yoshi for Breece Hall, A-Rich, and Chase Brown. I mean, the most valuable player is Breece Hall. But let's see. Kyler versus Richardson. I mean, honestly, I'd rather have Kyler, but yeah, let's just say Yoshi for Chase Brown. I'd rather have Yoshi, but Chase Brown's fine. So then you're looking at Mixon and Olave for Breece. The Breece side wins. So the Mixon, Olave, Murray, Yoshi side overall wins. Or the team receiving them because Kyler over Richardson, Yoshi over Chase Brown. But then they lose sending Mixon and Olave for Breece. So I would probably overall I would prefer the Mixon Olave side. But it depends on the whole roster involved here. Because Breece Hall is involved. And Breece Hall is still easily the most valuable player in this trade.
Easily.
So, and plus, Anthony Richardson's been awful the last 2 weeks, but he's probably going to be bad again in week 4. Well, he's going to get the Jags, the Titans, the Dolphins, the Texans. He's going to have some opportunities here to kind of bounce back. And we still know his ceiling is 27 points, so. I guess I'll still say the Mixon, Olave, Kyler, Yoshi side wins. But out of all those players, I want Breece Hall, right? All right, thanks for the super chat, Frizzle. Remember, if you guys want something answered right away, send a super. Should be able to get through all the questions, but going as fast as we can. Traded Kenneth for Jacobs. Did I lose? It's basically a wash, David. I mean, I'll say this much. If Kenneth wasn't dealing with the injury, I'd rather have Kenneth. But I don't know. Maybe if Jordan Love is healthy, we're talking about Josh Jacobs in a little bit of a different light. So it's basically a wash. If you prefer Jacobs, that's fine. I think I prefer a healthy Kenneth, but he hasn't been healthy. So. Kona Belt, what's up? Start 2, Ford, Akers, White, Chuba. Ooh. I like Ford a lot this week. He's been solid.
We hope. Yeah, we hope. I don't know. That team is so weird. I hate that team.
Are weird.
I hate them so much.
But the Raiders are bad.
The Raiders are
bad against the run. There's reports that Nick Chubb might start practicing next week. We'll see. I think Jerome Ford just super safe. And I like Chuba a lot this week. The Bengals also suck. And now now we're eyeing Jonathan Brooks. So interesting two running backs to look at. I do think Rachaad White could walk away with a solid week. I might be the only person who still believes in Rachaad White, but Bucky Irving, hamstring injury. I think White could be okay. Akers, it definitely relies on if Joe Mixon plays or not. So a very good matchup for Akers, though. But right now, I'd probably have Ford and Chuba in. And then, I don't know, you're going to have to kind of monitor because I think that Akers could go in maybe over Ford just because I do agree with Pete. The Browns are just weird and they are on the road. So
I hate the Browns.
yeah, good options here. Michael, you're welcome. 3-0, big win last week. You're welcome. Congrats. Feels good if you're 3-0. Andrew needs one. Conklin, Strange, Fant, and half PPR. Honestly, in half PPR, I might go Strange because I think he has the best touchdown upside. But Conklin's okay too. I don't trust Noah Fant. Daniel Caps, thanks for being on right now. So pissed that Miami's about to lose to VT. Uh-oh. I guess I should be rooting for Tech. They're like 45
Yeah,
minutes.
you should be rooting for Tech. Go Hokies! Yeah, Kyron Drones, quarterback. He's a dog.
I usually root for UVA because my aunt likes them. So, but I am very close to Tech. It's a big deal here. Tommy, thank you for the super chat. Very kind. Always appreciate you answering my questions. You're welcome, Tommy. Always appreciate you having questions. Thanks for the super chat, Tommy. Bullseye, stash one, Madison, White, or Johnson. Madison's not a stash. Madison is the running back to start for the Raiders. He has a touchdown and or double digits in every game this year. Zamir White is not somebody to roster. A true stash would be Roschon Johnson.
Oh, you're on the Roschon Johnson hype train?
It's fine to be.
It's a lukewarm train, more like the kiddie train that goes around the mall or something like that.
Yeah. He's fine. I'll say I talk about Roschon Johnson in tomorrow's video.
The Bears can't run the ball. The Bears have to show me that 4 offensive linemen can stand up and block somebody before I want a Bears running back.
That is part of the problem, and I talk about that too. Like, I don't trust Roschon Johnson, just like I don't trust Swift anymore, and I don't trust Herbert. But they're playing the Rams, the Panthers, and the Jaguars in the next 3 weeks. So if someone's going to pop, and if it's going to be Roschon Johnson, pick him up now. But are you going to start him? No. I mean, we have one report that's saying he might have an expanded role. We can't overreact. But double digits last week, we get the report, and then for me, it's more looking at the matchups. But I don't disagree. And after their Week 7 bye, they get the Commanders and the Cardinals. Like, if there's going to be a Bears running back this year, we're going to find out in the next couple weeks. But can there be a Bears running back with this offensive line? That's the bigger question. I do agree. So the stash would be Roschon Johnson. If you need someone to kind of fill in right now, it's Madison. Zamir White is banned from
Everything.
Forever. Eddie, what's up, man? 12-team standard. Who should I start from my wide receiver 3? Wilson, Coleman, Pittman, QJ, also Ertz are likely. I would start Michael Wilson. Coleman's okay too, but his ceiling's kind of low. He's kind of touchdown dependent. Not that Michael Wilson's not, but I'll take, the matchup here for Wilson. Not that the matchup for Coleman's bad, but you want that touchdown upside in standard, so give me Michael Wilson. I'll go
Watch
Ertz.
Pittman. Watch Pittman go for 100 and a touchdown against Pittsburgh this week. Just watch. As a Michael Pittman owner who is sitting him in furious, just watch it be this week against the best defense in football.
I know. What the Steelers have given up?
Nothing to
Two.
nobody.
I think they've given up 2 touchdowns all season long.
It was one to Bijan, like week or Kyle Pitts week 1, I think.
Yeah.
On a blown coverage.
So, yeah, I don't particularly. I mean, it is kind of crazy that Pittman's just off the radar. Like, I didn't even think I saw his name. I didn't even think about him at all. But yeah, it might be the week. It might be. Are we gonna find out? No. Find out on the bench. I'm not picking up Taysom Hill. Come back and yell at me if I'm wrong. I just don't trust Taysom Hill. I'll go Ertz over those 2, Likely and Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Go 619 Higgins or Shakir. Khalil Shakir.
Khalil Shakir. He's a dog, and that Ravens secondary is bad. They're really bad too. What's up with the what do we call that? The Tidewater over there with Baltimore, Washington. Those secondaries are just yikes.
It's been really bad. Shakir's in the must start video. Love him this week. Sunday Night Football. What's the over under on this game? It's got to be like 49.5. Ravens, like Pete's saying, I mean, they're 29th against the position. They've been awful. Shakir is the wide receiver 1. 6 targets, 6 receptions, 72 receiving yards, a touchdown, 19 fantasy points last week. It's been very solid. Gotta be Shakir. Chunk, I'm overthinking this, but Chuba or A-Chain? You got Gibbs and Hall. In this situation, you just start A-Chain.
Mm-hmm. No risk. I mean,
yeah,
you're not risking anything. You can have a bad flex game or whatever.
Yeah.
Going in there as.
Weird about it. Sure, in the same sense, you can go Chuba. You know, sure. I think he's still solid, but yeah, I would go. Just go A-Chain. Go A-Chain. About them Saints as LeBron's. They are still a team.
Are they? If they lose this week, it's over.
Yeah, it's a big game this week. I do like the Saints, I guess. They're giving us hope. Good news, it's very easy to bounce back from his last week. This is TD. 0.3 was gross. Oh, this was in regards to Ramondre. Yeah. Wow, that was like a long time ago. I got to catch up. Michael Wilson or Xavier Leggett? Michael Wilson. Is Mostert a hold? I mean, only if you can afford to. Like, this team is a big old question mark around them, so you don't have to, Chase. Hold or trade Cup? I'm honestly just holding Cup. I don't think you're going to get the right value for him. The only thing with Cup is you can't put him on IR for most leagues. So if you have enough injuries mounting up and your whole bench is, Debo and David Njoku and Cup and Devontae Adams, and you already got Pacheco on IR, and, I mean, maybe then. But I think for now I'm just holding Cup. Any moves for me to make? We got Hurts, CD, J-Mo, Pittman, Coleman, QJ, JT, B-Rob, Zamir, Brooks, Akers, Ertz, and Likely. 12-man standard. I mean, you could certainly try and upgrade your wide receiver 2. Another roster where Pittman is hurting us. But what are you really going to trade? Like, you probably want to hold on to Brooks. You can just drop Zamir White, honestly. So that's the problem. Like, what are you going to offer, like, Pittman and Brooks? You can't trade B-Rob on this team. You can't trade J-Mo. I would just hold. Play the waivers aggressively. I don't know. I think either way you end up trading a valuable wide receiver or running back. Should I trade Watson, or should I drop Watson, or is he a hold? He's a hold. All these Packers receivers are going to look very different when Jordan Love is back. If Bucky is out, would you start Shakir or Rashid White? Asked Jason. Starting Drake London over Wilson, is that a smart play? I would start Shakir. I like Shakir a lot this week. The poll, 62% of you guys saying no to starting Garrett Wilson this week. So we'll say Drake London smart here. The Saints defense is good, though. Should I trade Mixon for CMC? It really depends on your entire roster situation. Yeah. I'm very worried about CMC.
I don't think he's playing till this year or / the playoffs, whatever is going. It sounds like it's bad. Like he doesn't care. Like they're gonna sit him out till December.
And the thing that's even more worrisome is that this injury occurred in last year's playoffs. Like this has been going on for a while. You know, I mean, it's pretty serious. So
I feel like they ignored it. Like he got through the season and you kind of just ignore it a little bit. He should have been in Germany in February getting whatever magic juice they're shooting into him.
Yeah. So yeah, it really depends on the whole roster. I'd probably just hold Mixon. Anisha, thank you for joining as a channel member. Let us know if you have any questions. Ghost Hunter, I don't know who this Goddard guy is, but Joe Dirt is clear tight end 1.
Joe Dirte.
That's still the best thing that happened in the stream today. Space Ghost, happy Friday. Who the heck do I flex? H.A. London, Rome. I'd probably just roll London, but Rome Odunze is the upside play. You know, if you want to bring some upside to the table, this Rams secondary is that bad. But I'd probably just go London. If Debo plays, would you play Wilson over Jennings? You can. Wilson is a very strong start this week. Very solid flex. So you can. I'm not out on Jennings, I just have a bad feeling. The ceiling is not 56 fantasy points or whatever. Wilson's matchup is as good as it's going to get. Kyler or Joe Burrow? Probably Kyler against the Commanders at home. Burrow's solid. Burrow's on the road against the Panthers. He's fine. But I prefer Kyler. Should I drop Likely for Strange? I mean, you can. I think most people are considering Isaiah Likely a drop. So, but I think Brenton Strange it's kind of limited. You're not starting Brenton Strange 5 weeks from now unless Ingram is hurt. So, that's just what you got to look at. Do you need the help right now? If you do, then sure. Start Jawan Jennings or Khalil Shakir. For me, it's Khalil Shakir. Take this matchup. Take the game script. Start Miami or the Lions? Miami, Johnny. Miami. Andrea, Kansas City, Seattle, New Orleans. I go Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Kansas City is available. They're a must start. Easy.
Now there's some concerning numbers on them long term for the season that they're kind of a fake defense, but not this week. Not this week against Taylor Heineke and 2 backup tackles and yeah, they're gonna have a good day.
They're at home. Kansas City.
Division. Yeah, it's just, the Chargers haven't faced them. Yeah.
I do like the Saints, but Kansas City. Capsule. Ayuk, London, Deontay. Ooh, that's a little tricky. It's a little tricky. I'm going to have to refer to matchups. Ayuk, Patriots, 21st against the position. The Bengals surprisingly are ninth against the wide receiver position. The Saints are 11th, so I guess I benched Deontay, but I kind of want to start Deontay. I also don't really believe in the Bengals. That's a tough one. Capsule, who are you the least confident in? Simp, we got Adams, Eckler out. AJ Mostert questionable. Akers or Braylon at RB2. Akers if Mixon doesn't play. Flex Brian Thomas, Wilson, or Braylon. I'd play Michael Wilson. If Mixon plays, then I would play Braylon. You at least I've seen far worse options. You got some options here. Titans, Packers, or Raiders this week? I'll go Packers. Then I go Titans. The Titans are okay stream, but they also suck, you know? They made the video for the week, but they also suck, so.
I can't trust the Raiders. Like, the Raiders got to show me something. Something. You can't trust them. I know it's the Browns. You can't trust them. You just can't.
Raiders are off. They're the second lowest scoring defense in fantasy. They're off. They didn't show up against the Panthers. Andy Dalton pieced them up. They're not even a consideration. Gino or Fields? Have Gino right now, but thought about picking up Fields to stack with Pickens. Had to bench AR. Ooh. I think Gino's solid this week. I think Gino's the floor here. Fields more upside, but more risk for a bad game. I do like Fields a lot, though. Like, I think, he's in tomorrow's video. He's like, you need someone, you can go pick up Fields. Good matchup. The Colts are really bad against the run. I think they're going to struggle. Fields is running a lot. But Gino's, outside of last week's, been really solid. He's a safe play. The Seahawks will need to throw the football Sunday. They are going to struggle to run. At least the Lions will try to force them to run. God, B-Tom or Wilson? Am I crazy for just saying Michael Wilson over B-Tom?
A little, because B-Tom's the only person who feels like he gives a crap on the Jaguars, but, Michael Wilson, amazing matchup and good quarterback and good offense right now.
That's the second time, like, the last 5 minutes or whatever, that I've said Wilson over B-Tom. Where did the Texans are 23rd? They're not good against wide receivers, so I'll at least tail back a bit and say Brian Thomas is a safer play. Michael Wilson probably gives you more upside. Cali Loco, Buffalo, Green Bay, Titans. I'll go Green Bay. Green Bay, Titans, Buffalo. But you don't have to drop Buffalo. Like, it's just a bad matchup this week, but they've been super good. Goff or Dalton? It's week 4 of 2024. Goff's been bad.
Goff has been bad. He's thrown a lot, too. They've picked up yards. He's got nothing in the end zone, essentially.
The Hawks are top 5 against quarterbacks. They're not giving up a lot of points.
And the Bengals are awful on defense.
Bottom 12 against quarterbacks. They feel worse than that. Like, I think this Bengals defense just sucks, dude. I would probably go Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I'm
just worried, like, Carolina's like, we won a game, and like they just lay a massive egg this week against the Bengals team, who are, their back is, they're over the cliff. They're hanging off the cliff. They're about to get kicked off, Mufasa style over here, if they don't win this game.
I don't disagree. I talk about Andy Dalton tomorrow's video, and I talk about this too. Like, there's still a lot of risk. There's a reason Andy Dalton's low, has a low roster percentage. We've seen one game against the Raiders, but I do think between these two, I go Dalton. Call me crazy.
That's not crazy.
As a Green Bay fan, Jeter's overrated. This is the first Green Bay Packers fan I've ever heard say this. It's going to make Pete happy for the night.
Thank you. He is overrated. I've been saying this for years. He talks mad mess, and he always has safety help over the top.
That's part of, he tries to get in people's heads. Watson, if Love plays, or Michael Wilson. I mean, I think you're looking at a pretty similar floor between these two, so I'll take the upside with the matchup and Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson better have a good game. Excuse me, sorry guys. Secondary's cooking for no reason, and the Packers just kind of popping off lately. Anisha with the super chat. So I'll read your latest question because the super chat's blank. Thank you. Have Henry, Kamara, Diggs, Metcalf starting. Who do I put flex? Chuba, Ford, Yoshi, Michael Wilson. Should I drop Ridley for Madison? You're fine at running back. So I don't think you need to pick up Madison. I would probably just hold Ridley because he's still a volatile flex play whenever you need to throw him in if necessary. Boomer bust guy. But Henry, Kamara, Chuba, Ford, you're fine at running back for now. In terms of your flex, it's between, and as long as it's full PPR, I'm going to prefer to start a wide receiver there. So it's between Yoshi and Michael Wilson for me. Chuba and Ford are good, safe floors, though. But I'm in on Michael Wilson this week. I'd probably go Michael Wilson. I do like Yoshi. I talk about Yoshi tomorrow. Good matchup for him against the Panthers. 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Still really lowly rostered. But yeah, I probably go Michael Wilson in the flex. And I don't think that you have to necessarily go and pick up Alexander Madison. But let us know if you have any other questions. Thank you for becoming a channel member and for the super chat. Hopefully that helps you. All right, Tom. That's why I'm going Braylon Allen over Mooney this week. He could come down to earth. I mean, I don't hate that because it is a bad matchup against the Saints. How will Mike Evans do this week? I need him to at least be decent. I mean, I hope it's better. You know, it's the Eagles. They're on the road against the Bucks. He should have a bounce back week. I'm in on Mike Evans this week. So, Carson, you are welcome. Braylon could see 16 plus touches, including passes. I mean, sure, but also like Breece Hall could take all the volume away. Is kind of the risk. Let's see. The Broncos come in against running backs 17th. They're kind of right in the middle. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not great. Trust your gut. I mean, start Braylon Allen. I'm all for it if that's who you like. Richard just got offered Mike Kyler for Hill. Have no other quarterbacks. Waiver wires, Carr, Field, Stafford. My team would be one of those quarterbacks. Gibbs, Mixon, Lamb, London, Bowers, Hill. I would hold Kyler. I just hold Kyler. I mean, the gamble is that, you know, if like Tua comes back or if Hill starts to play really good with the backup quarterback, then like you got Tyreek Hill for a quarterback because he can still stream quarterback and definitely win. This is weird, Richard. Can I trust Carr and Fields? No. Like, they're fine. But can you trust them? No. I mean, Carr got us 9 points last week, and Fields just had his first solid fantasy performance last week. So, no. I mean, Fields had 11.9 or less in the first 2 weeks. Carr was looking great and then reminded us why he's Derek Carr last week.
True, he's still Derek Carr. He's
Yes.
still Derek Carr.
He is.
Fields is interesting. I listened to a couple of people say like Fields looks like he could like keep your eye like he could be one of those guys that you can start every week as like a medium tier quarterback.
Sure, and I don't particularly disagree. The offense is opening up like each game. It's it feels looking better. I think he's going to look good this week for sure. But yeah, I just going from this is a really interesting trade. I think I just prefer to keep Kyler, but I think it is close because right now you can flex Brian Thomas. I don't know, Richard. How do you feel about it, Richard? Let us know. Are you guys confident in A-Chain this week? And
No.
Ayuk? I still think A-Chain is definitely a startable player, but I'm worried about him.
It's not him, guys. It's the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans have been bad against the run, bottom 10. Bless you, Pete.
Oh, I think I muted my mic. Oh, thank you. I was like, I thought I muted my mic. I was like, I did. You
It's
saw
okay.
it.
Yeah, this is a tough one, Good matches for both these guys, so definitely still startable. You have J-Mo, Shakir, Jennings. I think you could throw Shakir in over whomever if A-Chain's in the flex or if it's Ayuk. Devontae's hurt starting Moss and Kyron. Yeah, I mean, I like those two a lot this week. Moss should have a huge week. First Zach Moss mentioned of the night. I love Zach Moss this week. Yeah. I think you can definitely play Shakir. I think he's gonna have a nice week. I'd probably go Shakir Ayuk. Guys, I'd try to start. Someone offered me Scary Terry and Addison for Diggs and Quentin Johnston. This is interesting. I'd probably just keep Diggs, though. Because we don't really know Quentin Johnston yet. We just don't. We just don't know what we're going to get yet. We need a healthy Justin Herbert, so. But then again, like Addison has a chance to really pop and become just a really good start every week. And Terry Diggs is probably a wash, but we only have one good performance out of Terry, so. This is weird, Space Ghost. How do you feel about it? Let us know. That's a close one, I think. Need one wide receiver and 2 flex. So who's sitting out? B-Rod, Pickens, Deontay, Jawan, if Kittle and or Debo's out.
Debo probably out. Kittle probably in.
Yeah. I'll go Pickens. I want to say Pickens, Deontay, and B-Rob.
It's like 2 weeks in a row, whatever. Just
he's a good start, but maybe go Jawan over Deontay if you want. I know Pickens is a low ceiling guy, but I really like this guy. Like he's got really Ooh, chat. Let us know who would you guys been? B-Rob, Pickens, Deontay, or Jawan Jennings? That one is tough. Couple tough questions in a row. Adam, is it okay to trade Allen and Higgins for Reed? You could, but I might hold. I think I'd rather have Reed than Pickens, but it's probably pretty close. And Braylon Allen's just a nice handcuff. So if you're kind of weak at running back, I would hold that. You have countering Diggs and commit for Terry and Bowers. Now that I like. I don't know if you'll get it done. Bowers pretty valuable. KJ, should I pick up Hill off waivers and play him for a Hail Mary start? I'm going to say no. My answer is no. If you guys want to do it, sure, but I don't trust him.
Know the risk.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair for a lot of you guys referencing the injuries, but right now we don't even know if Kamara or Olave are out. I don't trust Taysom Hill. It's not for me. His name is Pitman, and make logical sense for him to perform well.
Good call, Ghost Hunter.
That's good.
He is the Pitman.
That's good. Richard says running backs can't run with no line. This is true. It's true. I mean, the Bears had a great matchup last week, and they did nothing from the running back position. Mateo at the bottom of the chat, thank you for the super chat. Got offered Andrews and Ayuk for Cup. I have McBride.
I said no. I said I'm not giving up a starter in Ayuk. I'm not giving up 2 starters, even though you're not starting Andrews for Cup. Who I would do Andrews for Cup and say, here's your starting tight end, Cup, whatever.
So, wait, is he receiving Andrews
He
and
gets
Ayuk?
he gets Cup and he gives up Andrews and Ayuk and he has Trey McBride.
Yeah, I'd probably hold. It might depend on the whole roster, but like if you do the trade, then you gotta go pick up Brenton Strange. You gotta pick up a tight end because McBride's hurt.
McBride's out this week, yeah.
Yeah, and then what? Just gonna throw Cup on your bench for now. I think you're selling Ayuk a little low. It's not the worst. Oh, he has Cup. He said at the bottom of the chat. So he'd be getting Andrews and Ayuk.
Well, yeah, then, I mean, sure. I mean,
take a second, Mateo, type out your full roster. I know it's a pain, but let me know your full roster and we'll circle back. We'll reevaluate. In essence, though, I mean, it's okay. But I think that, once again, my issue is that Ayuk's being sold as low as possible. Mm-hmm. If Ayuk doesn't play well this week, then it's like, okay, it is what it is, Pull the trigger on a CMC trade today, says Alex. Traded away CMC, Pickens, Burrow, and ETN for Daniels, Keenan Allen, Brooks, and Wilson. That's a lot to trade away.
Yeah, for a guy who's a injured bum, a guy who hasn't played a down in the NFL, and Aaron Rodgers dependent Garrett Wilson currently.
Well, I mean, also, like, Wilson's ceiling's been really low.
You didn't see, essentially. You gave up 2 top, but, I mean, I get... And Burrow's been good. The Bengals have been bad, but Burrow's been good the last 2 weeks. He's been really good.
Yeah, like Daniels over Burrow, sure, but yeah, Burrow hasn't been bad. I'll take Pickens over Allen. I'll take ETN over Brooks. I guess Wilson over CMC is fine, but you still have CMC is just such an unknown. I don't know that I love this trade. I mean, ETN hasn't been great, but he's been good enough.
He's been playing.
Allen, the worst, right? The worst part about this trade is Keenan Allen for me, hands down. Yeah. Feels like Keenan Allen might just not ever play again. But I mean, he did have 11 targets week 1, sure. I don't know that I love the trade, to be honest. Depends on the whole roster, I guess. All right, Mateo says he's got Kyler, Jordan Mason, B-Rob, Chase, Nico, Jones, McBride, Cup. So right now you're flexing Aaron Jones. You got Chase and Nico. What's your record?
Yeah.
Like if you're like 1 and 2, sure, do the trade, get Ayuk, get some immediate help. Andrews, the thing, Andrews isn't really like even startable.
Yeah,
So
he's not. Yeah, he's not a startable tight
you're,
end currently.
he's 3-0.
I'm not
I
doing that
think
trade at all. Then
I just hold Cup. Yeah, I just
I,
hold
I,
Cup.
I got Cooper Cup coming back. Like that's like
Yeah.
reinforcements for later in the season.
Yeah, I'd hold Cup. I mean, Nico, Chase, and Cup when healthy, very good. You have your running back
And
room's getting you through.
and McBride's only 1 week. It's a concussion. He'll be
Yeah,
back next week.
it's
It's
not a
not a real
serious,
injury.
not a
Yeah,
serious
he'll be
injury
back.
that's going to affect his play. Cooper Cup had his cast removed this week. Maybe that's good. I agree. I hold. Further evaluation secured here, Mateo. Good question. And I mean, if you did the trade, like it's okay. Like you get Ayuk for now, that's fine too. But I think personally, I agree. I just hold Cup here.
I think the way I look at it, when you're 3-0, I'm trading for guys who have future value, not current value. Like I
Sure.
want future value because I'm good. I have wins. Like we're winning football. I don't need the instant help of Ayuk when I could have
Sure.
the ceiling of Cooper Cup.
Plus, Andrews is basically like,
Garbage, garbage. Just a
yeah,
name. He's a big name. He's garbage. Don't play him,
yeah.
guys. He might be cuttable soon.
If it was Ayuk and like, I mean, just name player X, Y,
Goddard,
and Z.
Goddard. Give me a good
Well,
guy who had an awesome week. Who,
even if
yeah.
it was a running back or wide receiver that was just like of some sort of value, then maybe I'd feel different. But Andrews just does nothing for me. Even if you had McBride out this week, it does nothing for me. Is Chuba going to be worthwhile? Yes, but his volume will be impacted when Jonathan Taylor returns. Or excuse me, Jonathan Brooks comes back and plays. But Brooks isn't going to come in and just get 20 touches. You know, they're going to ease him in. So, but Chuba was a league winner last year. It was very consistent once he started to get the rock full time. So, Chuba was a guy I talked about a lot in the offseason. Yeah, Chuba's good. If they sit Anthony Richardson, Pittman will be valuable again. Sure. Think CMC is done for the year. Maybe for the fantasy season. It's just a big old question mark. Martin, should I trade London and Pollard for Gibbs? It depends on the roster. I mean, I don't think London or Pollard are bad by any stretch, but Gibbs is the most valuable player here. So it depends. Space goes Daniels or Hurts. This is a headache every week.
This hurts.
It's probably got to be Hurts.
I don't think there's a bad decision here.
There's not. And that's why it's a headache because, I mean, the ceiling for Daniels is 28 points. The ceiling for Hurts is 24. I might go Daniels against the Cardinals, actually.
Cardinals D, who has been a little bit better than we thought
Sure.
would be, but they're still not great. They're still not great. I'm a little worried, like after a huge win like that, like you just kind of have a letdown. And then the Eagles, the Eagles, Tampa Bay, bad against the run, good against the pass this year somehow.
Right. And I agree. There's not really a bad start here. This is the type of situation I try to move on. I mean, you either just you start one guy, you either look at matchup every week, or you just always play Hurts, or you try to move off the situation and sell one of these guys. I probably just play the matchup each week, but it's still a headache with these type of. Sometimes having two stud quarterbacks is like the worst thing, you know. Oh, we got to this one earlier. Brian Thomas Jr. or Alexander Madison, B Tom for sure. B Tom. Jamar, Tony Pollard or Brian Thomas Jr. I actually prefer Tony Pollard due to matchup here. The Dolphins' run defense is awful. I'll go Tony Pollard. Nino, do you just like Wilson's matchup this week or year overall? So mainly the matchup. Who should I drop for him? If I drop any of these players, it's Ty Chandler. He's just a handcuff. I mean, it's kind of, you could say Chase Brown too, but Chase Brown's coming off a better game than Ty Chandler, so it's one of those two. I do like Wilson overall, but I don't know how high his ceiling is. I've talked about Wilson a lot in the waiver wire videos throughout the year, so I dropped one of those two. Chelsea TV, the polls question assumes we have Garrett Wilson. I mean, just in general, would you start him, I guess? Anyway, Fields or Geno against Burrow? Fields. Give me Fields. Isaac, have Olave at flex, stashing Leggett. I have Akers and Michael Wilson on the waiver. Should I drop Leggett for Akers and risk Leggett being good, or long-term play is Leggett, short-term is Akers. Look at it that way. I would start Ertz over Taysom Hill. No Garrett Wilson, Deontay better. I mean, Garrett Wilson's fine, but the ceiling's got to be limited. So I guess I prefer Deontay. Last week I just ignored him. I was like, just start Mike Evans, and it didn't work out. So I am worried about Wilson this week. Standard Najee or Pickens, and standard formats Najee. Yeah. Hold or trade Cup. Hold. Unless you're desperate. Eddie, any moves for me to make? Hurt, CD, J-Mo, Pittman. I think we got to this one earlier. Sorry, the chat is repeating for me. I don't know why it does that. All right, here we go. Tim, what's up with Olave? If he doesn't play, he's worth starting over him. Yoshi, Laporta, Worthy, Roshan Johnson. I'd roll with Yoshi. Give me Yoshi. 3 touchdowns the last 2 games. Gets the Panthers. Give me Yoshi. Hamstring injury for Olave? No. What is it? It is a hamstring injury. Yeah. Everyone's hurt. Drew, good to see you. What's up? Higgins or JSN? I like JSN this week. Give me JSN against Detroit. But Higgins is okay. Trying to get caught up here, guys.
That Miami Virginia Tech ending was insane.
What was the score?
Miami won 38-34, but Virginia Tech caught a Hail Mary on the last play of the game, but the ball was laying on top of the receivers and nobody had control and they were touching out of bounds, so it was incomplete.
Oh,
They
wow.
called it a touchdown though. It was bananas. I'm over here trying to watch it. My phone's blowing up. Everyone's going crazy. But Miami won. Miami.
Oh, there you go. Poor Hokies. Anthony, need 2. Cooper, Shaheed, Jennings. Start Cooper for sure. And I think I prefer Jawan Jennings here. A little worried about Shaheed. Hope Komet can come through for me this week. I think he will. Good matchup. Tommy, if you move off Allen, who would you flex? Mooney or Yoshi? Mooney for a floor, Yoshi for more upside, touchdown upside. Overall, I think I prefer Yoshi for you, Tommy. But if you want to start Allen, I want you to start Allen. You know. Half PPR, would you drop Kirk to pick up and play Myers? It's a similar floor for both guys. Bad offenses, wide receiver ones on their teams. I'd probably keep Kirk. Andrew, have a good night. Gabe, Garrett, Jacob, or Akers and Mixon doesn't play. Akers and Mixon doesn't play. If not, I probably just... Oh, Jacoby, not Jacobs. Yeah, Akers against the Jags. If not, I probably just go to volume and go Garrett Wilson. Need 2 of these 3. Oh, we already hit this. Hurts over Daniels. Brown and Smith are out. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, AJ Brown might play, but that is a good point, Shop Key. Just hard. I feel like I always gravitate towards a player like Hurts, but he hasn't even been that great outside of week 1. So that's a good point. Yeah, maybe I do go Jaden Daniels against the Cardinals here. Josh Allen for sure. Bullseye for sure. Josh Allen always. Millie Mills, what's up? Need to for flex. Ramondre, Reed, Mooney, Lockett. I'll go Ramondre and Reed. If you want to go Mooney over Reed, sure, but I'll go Ramondre and Reed. Shopkeep, Brian Thomas Jr. or Trey Tucker. I'll go Brian Thomas Jr. I do talk about Trey Tucker in tomorrow's video, but I'll go B-Tom. Go Center, everyone hit the like button or Joe Dirt will single-handedly destroy your fantasy team.
I like how that's the new meme now.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt is going to be the meme on the channel.
We've moved on to Joe Dirt. I like it. Mateo, another team need 3. Pickens, Jennings, Higgins, Javonte, Pittman Jr. I'll go Pickens, Jennings, and Higgins. The other 2 are massive disappointments right now, so I'll go with the first 3. Burrow or CJ SX? This is a good question. I think CJ is going to have a big week against the Jags, though. I like Burrow this week, but I'll go CJ Stroud. Stroud should have a big week. Trade Godwin for Kyron, asked Smokey. I mean, it's a fair trade. It just depends on the roster. Depends on what you need here, wide receiver or running back. Both have been very good. So, it just depends. It's a fair trade. X need 3 for running back. Kamara, Chuba, Brian Robinson, Pollard. Oh, man. That is tough because all these guys are playing great. Kamara, if he plays, he just got to roll out there. There's no way that we're not starting Kamara. Brian Robinson and Pollard. That's where I'll put it at. If Kamara doesn't play, then put Chuba in. But B-Rob's just been super solid. Really, really hard to bench. And then Pollard's got a great match. Pollard against Miami is a must start. Yeah. Chuba's still good, but he gets X'd here. All right, guys, going to start wrapping up in the next minute or two. So if you guys need anything, get it in here last second. Anthony, Jawan Jennings or Brian Thomas Jr.? I mean, I prefer B-Tom here. But if you want the upside, it's Jawan, I guess. I don't know. I'm worried about Jawan Jennings.
Worried about everything. Okay, it's fantasy.
I know. Monday Night Football, Seahawks Lions. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go Hawks.
Let's go.
Let's go Hawks.
McLaurin or Chuba. And full PPR, I prefer McLaurin, but Chuba's fine. Higgins over Garrett. I mean, Higgins has the upside here. Garrett Wilson has the floor, but a lot more risk in a bad matchup. So,
we saw Higgins P2 just destroy Mike Evans last week, essentially.
Higgins had the red zone look still. Panthers are still bottom 10. I'll go Higgins. Ghost Hunter, glad to see my Brock Bowers hype in the offseason. Is well deserved. Yeah. He's looking great. Tommy's got MH, Neighbors, Godwin, Higgins, Bijan Moss, and handcuffs. If it's full PPR, I think I'm going to hold Godwin. I mean, it's still fine. That puts you at MH, Neighbors, Higgins, Bijan, and Kyron. It's fine, but I think I prefer the wide receiver depth over running back depth, but you could still do the trade. Pray, more injuries in the NFL than the UFC. What's up, Pray?
It's because nobody practices anymore. It's like training camp is a joke. No preseason.
X, what about wide receiver? Ayuk, Jennings, Evans, J-Mo.
Ooh.
Definitely starting Evans against Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Ayuk. I'll go Jennings. If you want to throw J-Mo in over Ayuk or Jennings, that's fine. But the Hawks have been really good against wide receivers. All right, guys, that'll do it for tonight. So we'll be back on tomorrow night for a bit. We'll be on Sunday morning, so don't worry. Plenty of time to get your guys' questions answered. We will have our last minute waiver wire edition first thing in the morning tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you guys check out the video, drop us a comment. And like I said, we'll be rolling through tomorrow night and Sunday morning. I have a ton of comments to answer on videos, so if you guys have left a comment on a video, I will get back to you. I'm way behind, but I will get that done. Appreciate you, X. All right, guys, hit the like. All the links are down below. Do all the YouTube stuff. Pete, I'll let you say bye, and we'll get out of here.
All right, guys. Week 4. Let's get it done. Watch the videos. We'll probably be streaming tomorrow night. Who knows? Whatever. We're here to answer all your questions. Hit the like button. Do it now. Yeah, great, guys. Let's go get some more dubs. We've been doing great. It's been a tough season. Not going to lie. It's been tough. They got us in the first half, but we coming back strong in the second half.
First 3 weeks have been awful, and week 4 is looking a little difficult. Lots of injuries.
That's what we're here for, though.
We'll get through it.
Find the gems. Find the gems.
All right, I guess that does it. Thanks for the fantasy questions, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Ghost Hunter says button like hit.
Do it for Joe Dirt. Yeah. What would Joe Dirt do?
Joe Dirt. Start Joe Dirt this week. All right. Love you guys, man. Love the community. Love the Catch fam. We'll talk to everyone tomorrow. Everyone have a great Saturday. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And peace.